Good morning, all. I am Dr. Swapnili Karmore. Welcome to the series lectures for real-time operating system. Today we will start with Unit 2 real-time scheduling techniques. In this unit, we will study clock-driven approach, weighted round-robin approach, priority-driven approach, concept of effective deadline and effective release time, and optimality and non-optimality of EDF and LST. In the introduction section, first upon there is need to study something which is useful in this scheduling approaches. So real-time workload contains job. Job is what? Job is a unit of a work, a computation, a file read, a message transmission. Then next is known as task. Task is a sequence of similar type of job. Third point is attributes. Attributes are nothing but resources required to make progress and timing parameters. And very important thing which we have to study in this unit is the timeline which we have to follow in the real-time operating system. Okay, so we have to study the release time, execution time, relative deadline and absolute deadline. See here in the diagram, when particular job is released, when it is executing, the time required for execution is known as the execution time, and in which timeline the task have to complete is known as its relative deadline, and absolute deadline is also there, that on that particular time only the execution of the task should be takes place. So we will start with our first scheduling approach. So first upon we will technically define what is the release time is. Release time is time at which job becomes available for execution. Execution time is the time duration at which job getting start to execute. And absolute deadline, time by which execution of job is required to complete. And relative deadline means what? That length of the time between release time and the absolute deadline. So relative deadline equals to absolute deadline minus release time. Okay, as shown in the previous diagram, all these are present in this, that it is the release time, execution time, relative deadline and absolute deadline. Okay, so what is the relative deadline now? Absolute deadline minus release time. We have to study now periodic task, P comma E. The example of periodic task, now before studying the example we will see that which task is known as periodic. Its job repeat regularly. Then period P equals to inter release time, means 0 less than P, and execution time equals to maximum execution time, where 0 is less than equal E is less than P. And utilization means what? Execution time divided by period, which is denoted by P. Then where small o is release time, and the example of periodic task is like this. See in this diagram, it is the initiation phase, release of particular task, and it is the unit where the particular task is completing. This is the periodical intervals where this task is repeatedly occurring. So it is the example of periodic task. You can take example of pendulum, where pendulum have to go and throw up to the in a fixed interval of a time. Then In this figure, we can represent periodic tasks such as task T1 5, 1. So, as the task in 1 unit, it is known as 1, and the period is 5, that's why 5 1, in which period P equals to 5, means this 0 to 5. Execution E equals to 1. In the 1 unit, the execution will take place, that's why execution is 1. Now if we have to calculate utilization, as in this formula it is given U equals to E by P, then we can calculate like U equals to 1 by 5, 1 by 5. So utilization equals to what? 0.2. Now schedulability of task. So property indicating whether a real-time system, a set of real-time tasks can meet their deadlines. See that here example are given. Here 1 unit task, it is 2 unit task, it is 2 unit task. Here particular periodic intervals are given 1, 2, 3, 4, and it is of 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it is of 7. Okay, and the different tasks are there and there is a particular deadline to each task. Okay, means within this interval this task should be completed. So it is the diagram for periodic task model. So we will see what is the real-time scheduling is. Real-time scheduling determines the order of real-time task executions. Real-time scheduling algorithm. Following are some algorithm approach used to schedule real-time tasks that are nothing but priority driven approach, clock driven approach, weighted round robin approach. So first we will study priority driven approach. The priority driven approach is divided into fixed priority and the dynamic priority. There are several notation and assumptions are used. Assumption are what? That there are n periodic tasks as long as the system stays in an operation mode, n is fixed. The parameters of all periodic tasks are known as period. Each job task is ready for execution as its release time. Okay, so this can be denoted by different notation like phi, phase, period, E for execution and relative deadline. So in the priority driven scheduling, first type is fixed priority, where first is rate monotonic algorithm, deadline first, and second is deadline monotonic algorithm, time. Means here the explanation given, the rate monotonic algorithm based on deadline first and deadline monotonic algorithm based on the time. Another type is dynamic priority, where earliest and least task is used to calculate the priority driven scheduling. Okay, then if I have to define fixed priority, I can say it assigns the same priority to all job in each task. Okay, and in the case of dynamic priority, it assigns different priority to the individual job in each task. Now RM, which is known as rate monotonic. Okay, in this rate monotonic, the task is executed first. Here again 4, 5 and 7 interval periodic model is given. If I have to find optimal static priority scheduling, it assigns priority according to the period, means how much period is given for execution. A task with a shorter period has a higher priority. In the rate monotonic, we have to remember that shorter period having the higher priority. A task with a shorter period has a higher priority. Therefore, priority of job will be what? T1 is greater than T2 is greater than T3. Okay, because T1 is of 1 unit, T2 is of 2 unit and T3 is of 2 unit. So whichever have a low priority will execute first. Means here T1 have low T1 have the one minute. Task with a shorter period has a higher priority. So T1 has a shorter period, that's why it's have a higher priority, like this. T1 has a shorter period, 4, then 5, then 7. Okay, so it is executed first, then when it is completed, T2 will be executed. When it is executed, T3 will be executed. Okay, but here the deadline finished, so T1 will be complete its next periodic rotation, and then it executes job with the shortest period. Okay, it executes with the shortest period. Here there is explanation via diagram that first phase we have completed, then T1 executed, then T2 executed. Okay, then as the deadline didn't meet, T2 will be executed fully. Then after this, because of this deadline is missed for T3, because though you are going to executing this T2 task, you are missing the deadline of T3, where by calculation it will be started from this point. So another we have to study DM, which is known as deadline monotonic. Another approach, scheduling approach we have to study is what? Deadline monotonic. Here we assign the priority to the job based on their deadline. First, on the basis of what? Period. Means shortest the period, then having the higher priority or first priority. But in the case of deadline monotonic, it assigned the priority to the job based on their deadline. Okay, so shorter the relative deadline, higher the priority. Means if deadline is short, then give priority to the task for execution. For example, consider following 3 tasks: T1, T2, T3. Okay, here T1 is a execution unit, and particular where T1 is in which first element is referred as a period interval. 4 is known as period interval. Second element referred as a execution, and third element is considered as its relative deadline, 50, 10 and 20. It is a relative deadline. So when a deadline is not given externally, then consider given period as a deadline. In the previous case, what happens? Here the deadline is not given, so we have considering the period as a deadline. But when in deadline monotonic case, if they will give us a deadline, then we have to consider that relative deadline. When deadline is therefore priority of job will be what? T2 greater than T3, T1. T2, 10 deadline, lowest deadline. Okay, T2 will execute first, then T3 will execute it secondly, and T3 will be executed at third, because deadline, lower deadline is of T2, then 20 means T3 and 50 means T1. Okay, so here the example is given. Here these are the relative deadlines. Okay, relative deadlines and the task are given. This is a DM algorithm where we have to serve the task as per the shortest deadline assigned to the function. The next we have to study is EDF, earliest deadline first. Optimal dynamic priority scheduling. A task with a shorter deadline has a higher priority. It executes the job with the earliest deadline. As shown in the figure, see 4 interval, 5 interval and 7 interval. 7 interval. And deadline of T1 is less than T2 and then T3. It is a deadline. So we will see that first T1 will execute, then T2 will execute, and then T3 will execute. But see here, the deadline of T1 is end year. Okay, so what will be the next? That executes the job with the earliest deadline. So it is about the EDF. So it will first execute the job with the earliest deadline. Then in the next iteration like this, so it execute a job with the earliest deadline. Wherever there is a deadline is earlier, that particular job will be assigned first. So optimal scheduling algorithm, if there is a schedule for a set of real-time tasks, EDF can schedule it. Now least slack time algorithm, or we can say it is also known as dynamic priority algorithm. It assigns priority based on the slack. Shorter the slack, higher the priority. Slack time equals to D minus T minus E, where here we have to calculate the slack time and then we have to decide that which task should be executed. So in the formula, D minus T equals to D minus T minus E equals to slack time. So D stands for deadline, T stands for which task is calculated, and E stands for execution time required to finish. For example, consider following three tasks: 0, 5, 20, T2, 8, 3, 15, T3, 9, 4, 15. First element consider as a release time. Okay. Then second element consider as a deadline. This one. And third element consider as a deadline. Okay. So step 1. At time 0 only release time of T1, T2, T3 are 0, 8, 9. Release time क्या है इसका? 0, 8 and 9. Respectively, therefore only T1 is ready to execute and it will be scheduled from 0 to 5. 0 to 5. Okay. So T1 will be executed from 0 to 5. Now in the next case, we have to calculate that which task should be executed. For that, now at time T, T2 is released, therefore it will be scheduled from 8 to 9. From 8 to 9. This is our T1 and this is our T2. Okay. Step 3. Now at time 9, T2 and T3 both are ready to execute. Therefore calculate slack time and schedule according to them. As here both are in the competition that we should be completed their work. So here what we have to do? We have to calculate the slack. If I have to calculate slack of T1, then 15 minus 9 minus 2. Okay. 15 minus 9 minus 2. Where 15 is the deadline. Okay. And 9 is the starting time. So slack of T1 equals to 4. But if I will calculate the slack of T2, then I have to again put all the thing into this formula. Okay. To calculating that slack, in the case of T2, I will get 2. So slack time of T3 is less, therefore schedule T3 from 9 to 10. So here it is like that: T1, T2 and T3, because slack time of T3 is less. Similarly, at each time we have to calculate slack time for each task. Whenever there are more than one task are getting ready to execute and whose slack time is less, schedule that task. Scheduling of 3 tasks is given in a following figure. Then when T3 will complete it, then T2 will complete its work, and after that T2 simultaneously. Okay. So it is about the scheduling algorithm.